Jane, what's in a color? I mean, really, you see Carolina blue, you see the Kansas crimson and blue, and you're not just seeing laundry, you're seeing ghosts, you're seeing history.
You're seeing expectations, Joe. That's what you're seeing. You're seeing the weight of legends like Dean Smith, who played at Kansas, and Roy Williams, who coached both. This isn't just another game on the calendar. This is a blood oath. And for the first time ever, this chapter of the rivalry was written in Chapel Hill at the Dean E. Smith Center.
And the weight was heavy on Friday night. Two top 25 teams, both 1-0 after breezing through their openers, meeting at a place that's part arena, part museum. This was an early season test that felt like a Final Four matchup. You had number 19 Kansas walking into number 25 North Carolina's house, and the tension was palpable before the first whistle.
Let's lay out the facts for everyone. Both teams came in after dominant opening night wins. UNC dismantled Central Arkansas 94-54, while Kansas handled Green Bay 94-51. The stage was set for a heavyweight fight, but for North Carolina, there was an elephant in the room. Kansas had won the last 5 meetings between these two titans, including that heartbreaker in the 2022 National Championship.
A 5-game losing streak, that stings, especially when the history is so intertwined. And this game, Jane, felt like Hubert Davis and UNC were desperate to shed that skin, to prove this new-look roster could finally get the Jayhawk off their back. They came out with energy, but Kansas absorbed the punch. At halftime, the Jayhawks were up 37-29, and you could feel the air getting thin in the Dean Dome.
It was a sloppy end to the first half for UNC, and it really came down to a battle of the young guns. Everyone was watching the freshmen. For Kansas, you have Darren Peterson, a kid some consider the best recruit in his class, who dropped 21 in his debut. For Carolina, it's all about Caleb Wilson. The hype around this young man is immense. He scored 22 in his first game and was UNC's offensive engine in the first half against Kansas with 12 points.
That's the human story for me. It's Caleb Wilson. Head coach Hubert Davis said before the game, he's ready and he wants the spotlight. He's somebody that runs towards it. Well, he wasn't running, he was sprinting. You could see it every time he touched the ball. This wasn't just a freshman trying to find his footing. This was a kid trying to carry the legacy of a blue blood on his shoulders in a must-win game.
And on the other side, you have Bill Self, the veteran maestro, leaning on his sophomore big man Flory Badunga, who had a career-high 23 in their opener. It's such a fascinating coaching duel. Self, with his structured physical style, against Davis, a Carolina alum trying to blend that traditional fast tempo with a modern NBA-style offense. It's a chess match of identities.
It is. And the question this game poses is huge. What does this mean for March? For Kansas, a win in that hostile environment says, we are tough, we are resilient, and our young talent is ready for war. It validates their top 20 ranking, and then some. It tells the country that the road to the championship still runs through Lawrence.
But what if UNC had pulled it out? What would that have signaled? A victory would have been a massive statement. It would have meant that Hubert Davis's team, with all its new faces, has the grit to win ugly, to overcome a deficit against an elite opponent. It would have broken the mental hold Kansas has had on them and announced, we are back to being that North Carolina.
It's almost poetic. The very history that makes this rivalry so special is also what creates such immense pressure. You have the ghost of Dean Smith, who learned his basketball at Kansas, watching over the arena. You have the shadow of Roy Williams, who famously left Kansas for his alma mater, Carolina. Every single dribble echoes with the footsteps of giants.
And that's why these games, even in early November, feel like they carry the weight of a championship. It's more than just a win or a loss in the standings. It's about bragging rights and a conversation that has spanned nearly 7 decades. It's about which shade of blue gets to stand a little taller.
In the end, it's a reminder that college basketball at its peak is never just a sport. It's a generational story, filled with history, loyalty, and the relentless pressure to live up to the color on your jersey. And on Friday, we all got to see another chapter written.
A powerful and telling chapter indeed.
This podcast combines verified reports with expert analysis and narrative storytelling. Some dialogues may be dramatized for clarity, but all facts are sourced from credible media.